Just let me know when we're live.
We are live, buddy.
What? Right now?
Yes.
Oh, all right. I was just about to tell you my deepest, darkest secret, too. That's awkward. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's Tuesday. It's 5-ish. And it is No Sugar, No Cream podcast. And we are live. No joke today that Tim's not here. He's already sitting down. He's all over it. This guy. Let me tell you a thing about this guy. This guy is my uncle. He's a great guy. And
funniest man in Nashville.
He still hasn't signed this. But we'll get his signature one of these days. He's a if you didn't see the last podcast or where have you been or any of the posts here lately, Tim is a chart hopping recording artist, album
not
artist.
charting.
I mean, it's not at the bottom. I can tell you that.
In the middle
I'd say 11 is toward the top.
Yeah, okay, toward the top.
There's a lot of albums out there, sir. So jazz. What was the blues?
Yes, this album charted.
Yep, this album charted
on the Billboard
Amazing.
Blues chart, number 11. Yeah.
And within 24 hours of that, you got some other news, Tim.
Yeah, I am a Grammy Recording Academy voting member. And it may seem not like a big deal, but it's a pretty rigorous process to get it. You need to be recommended by 2 current members in good standing, and they do. I mean, the process they want to make sure that you are legit, serious about your music, and you are a professional, full time, whatever category you're in. If you could be a musician, you could be just a songwriter. I went in as the boxes I checked. You checked
all the boxes, Tim. You checked all the boxes.
I checked songwriter. I checked
approved
artist. I checked producer. I think I don't remember all the boxes I checked. Musician, and they want to see your credits. Make sure you have credits, and not everybody that applies gets in. So I was fortunate that I was able to survive the scrutiny, if you will, and they invited me to join, and of course I did. Say nothing more, sir or ma'am, whoever is sending that.
So you're
email.
part of the Grammys now, and the crazy part is I'm looking forward to watching the Grammys. And as we chill and watch the Grammys, and they say, "I want to thank the Grammys," I'll be like, "Hey Tim, say you're welcome." Because that's what they're thanking the voters when they do that.
They are, right. So the Recording Academy is the only
voters,
and this was so I'm getting a lot of emails and a lot of love from other Grammy members. One guy sent me an email, so I announced, of course, that I became a member. And one guy who I didn't know saw the post, and he's got a lot more followers than I do, and he said, "Welcome, you're part of the family now."
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That literally brought tears to my eyes because there's a lot of adversity in being a music artist, and a lot of people, in my experience, there's a lot of people who are very competitive and don't want to help you. In fact, I wrote a song on my new album that's available for pre-sale now. It's called This Town, and it talks about my experience of people don't want to reach down to pull you up. They are always looking up, seeing how they can get to a higher place. And it's kind of a negative viewpoint, and not everyone is like that, but I've experienced more than I would like to experience of that. And the fact that this particular gentleman reached out and he said, "You're part of the family now." I mean, it made me a little emotional. And I'm sure not every member is going to be like that, but I mean, it meant a lot. It meant a lot. This new journey that I'm on.
Sorry, he said, "See you Sunday for family dinner." You're hosting. So that's awkward. Now
Invited to the family cookout.
Now we got to bake enough lasagna for 25 people, I think, at least.
So that's completely fabricating that part, but I love his imagination.
Caesar salad will be easy dinner.
I'm a potato salad guy. I'm a big potato salad guy. I'll bring the potato salad, but you don't like the mustard potato salad.
I like the mayonnaise base.
You like the mayonnaise.
I even tried yours. I was like, well, maybe I do like this one. No, I like the mayonnaise, and I mean I'll eat it up like crazy. The mayonnaise based, a good.
I like the mayonnaise
like,
base too. I'm an equal opportunity, eater. Hey, leave in the comments which type of potato salad you like, or maybe neither, or maybe both. I'm both. I like both, so I'm in the both category. So you might prefer mustard, mayonnaise, or get that potato salad off my plate. Might be your response. All are legit. You'd be wrong, but we will allow you to.
Yeah, we were grilling out some after around the 4th.
It was the 4th of July holidays. We got some potato salad,
and then Tim cooked up a brisket, not a brisket, pork butt,
pulled pork. Yeah, pork butt.
Or it's pulled.
It's pulled pork, but it's the cut of meat is the pork butt. It has a bone in it, and it doesn't come from the hog's butt. It comes from the shoulder, but they call it pork butt. Don't know why.
Because the first person that they made was maybe confused. Oh, I think I pulled this from the butt. Honey, it was the shoulder. I was there when you were doing it.
And everything's a learning experience, and you're supposed to get it to 190, 195 internal temperature, or 195 to 205. And I've done pork butt a number of times, and I was never able. I mean, I'd leave it in there, and it reaches a point of 160 internal temperature, and then it stalls, the stalling point, and then you're supposed to take it out and wrap it in. They say butcher paper. Don't do it in butcher paper.
That's and right online they tell you.
They tell you online, do it in butcher paper and put it back in. The butcher paper gets on fire. And I had in my internal temperature, you set at 250, and I quickly went to 450 because there was a fire in there. It was burning. And thankfully we saved both the brisket and the pork, but it has to be waxed paper, and you'd pull it out, or you could do foil, but I think foil would make a complete barrier. I'm optimistic that maybe I'm too optimistic, but I'm thinking it's still smoking. So you would like more smoke flavor to penetrate. But you just don't want the moisture to escape. So you wrap it, whether it's tin foil or not butcher's paper.
I mean, every time it's been great, and you've raised the bar a little bit. You learned
this
little bit more.
This time I learned. I read or found something because it would get that stalling point, and I'd wrap it, and then it would keep going. And a lot of times the meal date is coming, and I had to pull it out. And this time I'm like, man, why I can never quite get it to 195. I mean, if it's over 140, it's safe to eat. So it's not about a safety issue. It's very safe because it's in the 160, 170, 180 maybe, but I never got it to that 195. I've done a couple of them, maybe a handful of them. And Seth made an observation, my brilliant nephew. He said, well, the temperature you're set at
Where's that light?
Was it 225 or 250? Now I
225.
forgot. Yeah, it was set at 225. So the delta between where you're trying to get it to and the oven, that's going to be a problem. And I'm like, duh, I've got an engineering degree. Why didn't I think of that? It took my nephew to think of that.
Just numbers.
So I Googled it then, and it says, once you wrap it, boost the temperature because it's wrapped now and it's not going to lose moisture. So we did. I boosted it to 350 or 400, I forget. And it wasn't long, and it was and it got to 195, 200. And oh my gosh, that last bit, it just fell apart. We took it out. I mean, it was just pulling it. There's no pulling it. There's touching it is what it was to get it to come apart. Because basically it comes out and it's all, you pull it apart. But if it's that soft and falling off the bone, was it tender? Was it good, Seth?
It was great. And you let me season it up, and man, I had fun. I put as much seasoning as I think I'll even try to even put more next time. I think I used 3/4 of the
bottle,
but I feel like I've reached success once I
success.
And I I told you later that you'd already put it in the oven, but at one point I went and opened the fridge because you part of the process is setting it in the fridge.
Yeah, I mean, some say a few days. Let the seasoning get in it.
Okay.
Just soak into the meat, I guess.
Really? So that's something
Not really.
We could change up too. Is just letting it sit there.
Let it sit there for a few days.
Oh, cool.
Get it in the fridge and let it get into the meat.
I opened the door and I got the biggest whiff of that seasoning. Oh, I could cry. It smelled so good. It smelled so good.
And it lived up to
Yeah.
it, right? The meat
it
was
was great.
delicious.
It was
So-
amazing.
So, elevating game, you're learning new things. I mean, the veteran pulled pork roasters probably say, "Oh, I knew that when I was in grade school," and maybe you did, but we just learned it, and it's on the internet. I mean, it's all about Googling the right way, and the AI helps you so much. I mean, you can learn so much. Chat GPT, it's amazing if you just prompt to Chat GPT and ask for certain things, what it'll tell you what to do. And it's not always right, but it gives you a big leg up on starting with stuff. So anyway, so back to so now I will back to the Grammys. So we got on a big rabbit trail there, but I am now a Grammy voting member. And so I will get to vote on, who wins album of the year, who wins best new artist, song of the year.
You're not part of the nominations, though, right? Is that
I am not up to speed yet on who's going to do that. That's a committee that does that.
Okay.
And then, but those are the overall. There's is it 4? Let me see if I got this right. So it'd be album, record, song, and a new artist. And then I think producer. That would be 5. I think there's 5 overall producer of the year each year that are general population. And then there's genre specific. And I think each individual can only vote for a limited number of votes. And for the specific genres, that is a category that you should only vote in the category that you're familiar with. Like my music is in blues, Americana. I probably shouldn't be voting. I definitely shouldn't be voting for heavy metal. That's not my category. I shouldn't be voting for that. So, and I won't. So, and I'm yet to, it's a learning experience. I've gotten a bunch of emails from the Academy talking about the different things and does more. The Grammys or the Recording Academy does a lot more than just give out awards. Advocate on Washington, on Capitol Hill for rights. And a big one right now is AI. And they're saying, can AI be copyrighted? Can AI and for a songwriter, the music industry, actual musicians, the Recording Academy is coming out against that and saying that you can't just, because it could end. If you can be trained, if they allow AI to be trained on your song, it can make more songs like it. So the key is, can AI be trained on your songs? Is that a violation of copyright, or is that fine? Because AI had to learn from something. It didn't create it by itself. Mm-hmm. Everything that AI creates, it learns from, whether it's visual or audio, whatever it is, it learned it by listening to, thousands or millions of examples and then finding common things and then regurgitating it. AI doesn't, maybe one day, but so far, it just regurgitates what it already knows. So it's not innovative. It just regurgitates the same thing. And I read an article, there's a band that is all AI, is released, and it's got millions of views now, millions of streams, and it's all AI, and it's becoming a phenomenon.
I think if we can do whatever we can to, as much as possible, keep AI out of our entertainment, I think it's best for us as people.
And so the Recording Academy is advocating for that and allocating money, lobbying money. That's just one of the things that it does. And if you're an artist and you're in music, you don't have a safety net. You don't work for a company, and you don't have health care insurance. The Grammy works in that area. And I'm not 100% sure if there's insurance you can get through the Recording Academy, but they work in that area. And also they have funds for musicians who fall on hard times. And there's work in that area. And so Music Cares is the organization. And there's different charities that it champions, and music education. And so there's a lot more that the Recording Academy does than just give out a Grammy every year, or give out a bunch of Grammys, not one, a bunch of them. I think there's almost 100 awards that are given out each year. So anyway, I'm part of that now, and I'm beyond excited. And I'm submitting my song Down and Under for Grammy consideration in the contemporary blues category. I'm not being shy about it. That's why it's coming out in August, because the deadline is August 30th. And I was going to I was going to submit Born in South Dakota, which charted on the charts, as we alluded to earlier. But I found out that for the Grammys, 75% of the songs have to be unreleased. And I released every single song on Born in South Dakota before the album came out. So it would not have been allowable. It was not allowed to be voted for album, Grammy Award. So I quickly got a band together, Cracker Jack Band, and phenomenal musicians. And I had written 11 songs on a cruise down under, and those songs hadn't really been touched.
Tim Wolf and the Cracker Jacks?
Tim Wolf and the Cracker Jacks is the name of the album.
Or the name of the band too, like just in general. That would be great.
Tim Wolf and the Cracker Jacks. I like that. There's a ring to it. Anyway, I'd written these songs back in 2022, never really done anything. I'd released one of them as a single, 10 Virgins, which is a Christian song, and about the 5 foolish and 5 wise virgins that Jesus talked about in Revelation. Is it in Revelation? Anyway,
I think I've dated a couple of the foolish ones.
Anyway, the other 10 songs hadn't been recorded, so we got together and recorded all 10 of them one day, the backing tracks, their parts. And then I worked on my parts, guitar, bunch of guitar. It's guitar, my guitar playing all over it, rhythm, lead, solo breaks, and playing lead in between, call and response with my voice. And I sang all the vocals, the main vocals and the BGVs, and worked with my excellent engineer, Taylor, who has worked in Nashville for a long time. And we got it all done, got it mastered, and now it's already uploaded to streaming. It'll come out August 15th. It's called Down and Under, which is a play on Down Under, which is New Zealand and Australia.
Exactly
Down Under.
A month from today.
A month from today. Is today the 15th?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. A month from today, it's coming out. You can get the pre-sale. And I'll put the link down below. You can get the pre-sale for this new album, selling it for only $7.99, free shipping. And it's not going to be that cheap after August 15th. I guarantee you. It'll go up to probably probably go up to $15. Just as Born in South Dakota did. Born in South Dakota was available for $7.99. And then once it dropped, I raised the price to $15. And that one did chart, as we discussed. So anyway, that's what's going on in my world. And also the gig that we did in June 27th, the album release for Born in South Dakota, we recorded that, and I have video of it, hired a videographer. And right now, my producer, Kenny, is mixing that. And I'm hoping to come out with an album, a live album, for 15 songs. 15 songs. All the songs on Born in South Dakota, which is 11 plus 4 more. Which is 10, sorry, plus 5 more. And that'll be coming out at some time. And then I've also recorded 14 songs for the next album in the sequence of South Dakota called Raised in South Dakota. That'll be coming out sometime next year. So I got one coming
Exciting.
out in 1 month. And then I got one that producer is already mixing. And then I got one that I have all the backing tracks that I have to add my parts to. So, 3 more. I mean, there's no shortage of Tim Wolf music in the works.
Bob Dylan, he's coming for your number. He's coming for your number.
How many albums had Bob put out when we watched that? Bob
Yeah, we said like 55 or something.
Was it just 55? I thought it was
50. Yeah, just 55. You can catch up with that, no problem.
So prolific.
Was it some year? It might have been. He might have more than that. I think it said from this year to this year or something.
Yeah, I watched the Bob pick. Well, we watched it together. The Bob pick.
I like
A Complete Unknown.
Just turn on a movie a movie that I know Tim's gonna like and just play it. And I mean, a lot of times like we don't have the same taste in movies, so he's just like, what's this? And then it was like, once I pull him in, I was like, oh, rewind it. We gotta watch it from the beginning. Yeah,
Timothy Chalamet, if that's how you pronounce his name correctly, played Bob Dylan, a young Bob Dylan, the first 5 years of Bob Dylan's life. If you haven't seen it, if you're a music fan, if you're a Bob Dylan fan, even if you're not really a Bob Dylan fan, anyone who's a songwriter most likely owes, whether they know it or not, owes a lot to Bob Dylan. I have on my playlist on my Apple Music playlist. I have 70 songs. I read an article once, the top 70 songs that Bob Dylan has written. And every year I listen to that list at least once or twice. And near the top of the list is Like a Rolling Stone. And also, Girl from the North Country is amazing. I mean, so many great songs.
I wasn't expecting for you to say that the actors literally had a better voice.
Well, yeah, right. Timothy Chalamet, shout out to him. He learned how to play guitar, and he's got a better voice. Bob Dylan is a great songwriter, and his singing is how is it said? It's a learned. What's the term?
It's not that good.
Oh, it's an acquired taste. Bob Dylan's singing is an acquired taste. And he sang, he sings his songs. He's a singer-songwriter, but no one would vote for him for a Grammy for best singer. There isn't such a Grammy.
Like he did a good job sounding like him and picking up.
But Timothy Chalamet apparently did not know how to play an instrument, had not sang before, and he learned how to do all that. He did an amazing job. He played the guitar, played the harmonica.
Super
just
talented.
Unbelievable. And then who was the woman who played Joan Baez? She just hit that target right in the center with Joan Baez's high vibrato.
She was the singer. She was the singer in it.
Who was that?
Yeah,
she played Joan Baez.
She plays in Fubar on Netflix, where she's she plays Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter, which is so it was surprising to see her. Different
Joan Baez she's still alive and she's still performing. I think she has a very distinctive soprano. I believe it's called soprano. I think she's high range vibrato, very distinctive, and it's her signature sound, so to speak. And that actress nailed that. And they did of course, they had a tumultuous relationship, Bob Dylan and Joan Baez. They dated in real life. And did a lot of, and she was instrumental in getting his music off because he wrote great songs, but he wasn't the best singer, and she was already famous,
right? Yeah,
and so she put out his songs, recorded his songs, and put them out. And without her, he may not have ever got off the ground, honestly. And then, of course, in '65, in Newport Folk Festival, he goes electric and he torques everybody off. But the next album that came out, Highway 61 Revisited, is one of the best albums, probably his best album ever. Blood on the Tracks is another one. I mean, you could argue what of his best album, but Highway 61 Revisited, that's where Like a Rolling Stone came out. And also Highway 61. God says, Abraham, kill me a son. Abraham said, what? You must be putting me on. That's the first verse for Highway 61. And
when he's in his 90s today?
Or 80
or 80s,
mid 80s. Bob is in his mid 80s. He collaborated on the movie, but
very well done.
Well, he's a very contrarian guy. Bob Dylan has always been contrarian. He seems to get pleasure out of saying the opposite of what you would expect him to say, and he loves to get a rise out of people. And I saw a quote that said, "Well, I'm going to dress up like Timothy Chalamet and see if he likes that." He agreed and consulted on the movie where Timothy Chalamet played him. Now, why is he making a post that he's apparently like he's upset? He's just a contrarian. And now,
okay, I got you.
He's just a grouchy old man now at this point. And we listened to some of his latest albums.
And of course, at that age, he could have forgot that he was even helped out on them.
And I already told Seth, if I ever sound like that, and I'm in my older age, do not allow me to sing. I mean, we listened to one of his latest albums when he was 83, I think.
He didn't get better with age.
No.
As far as his voice.
Bob hasn't.
But it was a good movie. Saw yesterday, I went and saw the racing movie. F1. I was about to say R1. I'm like, that is that with Brad Pitt. I don't think it's really based on anything that I know of, but just
no, it's
really
G1
story.
G1, one better.
G1. Great story. Just an old has-been that had wrecked in a F1, and then he hadn't gone back to it. Hurt himself really bad, like even flew out of the car, showed, and
Was it based on a true story?
I don't think it
Supposedly?
was based on anything that I know of. It was just a really well done story, and like anybody that was like you'd have to be a big fan of racing to enjoy the story. It was very well done.
Isn't it on streaming now?
No, it's in theaters.
It's not on streaming.
Not at all. But
Oh,
yeah, some of them.
okay.
Sometimes you'll have some of them both at the same time.
Oh, and I just watched. I mean, I normally don't get into. I don't like series.
Yeah.
As I've explained before, because the hero's journey is interrupted when you don't have that hour and a half, 2 hour arc. I've explained that in a previous episode.
I feel like you should write a song about the hero's journey. It's like it's there's a song in there somewhere.
Maybe I will. Anyhow, I got sucked into this one. I'm a sucker for British shows, and this one's called The Q Department, I believe. And the protagonist is a cop who everybody hates him, but he's really good at his job. You know, that's an archetype that you see in a lot of. I mean, his manner, the things that he said was remember the movie or the show House. The guy House played a doctor, and he was always so contrarian, and he was always stretching the rules and saying what people didn't expect him to say. But he was so good at his job that they had to tolerate him. And the actor who played that happened to be British, but he played it with an American accent. And he happens to be a phenomenal jazz pianist, by the way. I can't remember his name, but House, beloved show. Probably off the air like 10 years. Time goes so fast these days. But the character reminded me of the character in House, the main guy.
House was very much an a-hole, right? I mean,
yes.
Would you say that character was very much?
Yes, he was. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. He torqued everybody off, and he ended up having they in the police department, they put him in the basement in an office that really wasn't even an office. It was there were urinals up against the wall that hadn't been used in decades and decades. I mean, it was like a storage area, and that's where his office was. And he puts together a ragtag team of fellow detectives. This one guy from Syria, Ashram. Everybody wants an Ashram in their life. Ashram was amazing. The character, Akram, Syrian guy. It just was phenomenal. And just whereas the lead character would get all angry and lose his temper, Akram was just level. He'd be having you by the throat and choking your windpipe and saying, "Are you going to tell me what I want to know? Or do I have to choke your wind? Do I have to break your windpipe?" You know, just absolute level. No, the character was. And it's like, man, I love this guy. So, you know, great writing makes you want to root for the characters, even though they're flawed. And that was definitely great writing. And it was based on a series of novels by a Danish writer who wrote them in Danish, the Danish language, and converted into an English, of course. And it reminded me of, remember the series, there was a similar thing of the girl with the dragon tattoo?
Yeah, the girl with the dragon tattoo, yeah.
Which started off in one of the Scandinavian countries. I don't recall which. I don't think it was Denmark. I think it might have been Sweden, where it was a series of books and shows that had been made in that language. Swedish? I don't think it was Danish. And all those countries are small. So, you know, they don't have big markets. You know, I think Norway, the 4 Danish countries. 5. I misspoke. Can you name the 5 Scandinavian countries?
Nope.
Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and one more. Iceland.
Iceland.
Reykjavik is the city. Iceland has less than 1 million people in it. Very, very small population. And I think all of those 4 are all less than 10 million each. 2 to 10, I believe. And I couldn't even tell you which one is the most. I would guess Sweden has probably the most population of the 5. And technically, Greenland is I think considered part of Scandinavia.
I heard something silly before that Greenland is more icy and
Then
Iceland is
yeah,
more Greenland.
right. It's backwards. Yeah,
And they did that on purpose to keep people away or something. I guess that's probably where the rumor is.
they say that
They called it Iceland to keep people away.
even though the population is very small in Iceland, per capita, as far as winning, Miss USA or no, Miss World or Miss, what are they? The beauty pageant awards, Miss World. There's a couple of them.
Yeah, the
USA
World
goes to
International Beauty Contest or something like. Yeah, I don't know.
Unproportionate amount of winners or finalists from Iceland, because that Scandinavian look, that blonde hair and that ice blue eyes.
Million people, all that good inbreeding. Does it? Here in America, that doesn't happen. We end up with some weird looking people. Some countries can pull it off. USA.
And for women, I'm sure the same. I mean, the men are probably quite handsome there. The women are beautiful, the men are handsome.
If you think inbreeding isn't bad in the US, Google it. I warned you. I told you so.
Yeah, I've seen some clips of people in the maybe the Appalachian Mountains. And it's pretty sad. One of them was completely nonverbal. He would bark like a dog. Completely nonverbal, but very poor. Very poverty is part of that.
Yeah. There's that family that went viral and stuff, and they're trying to protect them and stuff because they got people just showing up and stuff and taking advantage of them.
But Sweden, I mean, Legos came from one of those countries. I've forgotten which one.
I think yes,
Norway, Sweden,
maybe Sweden. I should know this.
Yeah, get the populations. Let's get the populations of those 5 countries. I'm pretty sure Iceland is less than 1 million. I will bet you $1 that Iceland's population is less than 1 million. And the rest of them are less than 10, or maybe right at 10. Put in the comments if you know. Don't Google those.
If you know. All right. Which country first?
Well, let's Norway.
Norway. Let's try to find a list, and I couldn't. So, Norway population 5.5.
Okay,
that was 2 years ago.
So. Less than 10. I was right. 5.5. I said between 2 and 10.
Finland 5.5. Ahead here at the bottom.
2 for 2, or 2 for 5 so far.
Iceland 400,000.
Woo!
Switzerland, was that one of them?
Switzerland? No. Sweden. Oh yeah, Sweden. The drama, the tension is building. Will Tim get them all right, or will Tim fail?
What did you think?
Less than 10 million.
Oh, bummer! Just over 10 million 2 years ago. 10.54.
Well, I said around 10 million.
Let's rewind that. Let's clip that.
Yeah,
please.
Rewind. I'm pretty certain I said roughly 10 million.
Either way, you're close.
That's Sweden, 10 million.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest one. That's the one our guest had the biggest. And then we got, did you do Finland yet? Denmark. You haven't done Denmark. Yeah, I was pretty sure Sweden had the most population.
5.9.
Okay, so 3 of them are right at 5. Finland, Norway, and Denmark are 5.2 to 5.5 million. Just almost exactly.
Excellent job, Tim. Bob,
and
what did you win? Oh, absolutely nothing.
Sweden is just around 10, just a little over. And Iceland is 400,000.
I get jealous when Tim knows number things, because numbers is my thing. I don't know geography very well though.
So Scandinavia, I haven't been to Iceland yet. I haven't been to Iceland. I got to get to Iceland.
But what's your favorite player on the Celtics jersey number?
My favorite player is 0.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it?
And then
I don't
Jaylen
think
Brown
he's a
is
0.
7. Jaylen Brown. I love Al Horford's 42, but he's not coming back.
He's not coming back.
Well, Al Horford's 39. He won a chip with the Celtics, and the collective bargaining agreement that the NBA has, and all the owners voted on it, and all the players agreed with it. It really is aimed at creating huge financial penalties if you overpay for your roster. So they have 3 different levels. You have if you're over the tax, you have to pay some tax, and then the first apron, which is another level, penalties get higher, and then the second apron, which is a higher number. And if you're over the second apron, the repeater tax, and then you do it for multiple years. The Celtics, if they hadn't cut their players this year, they would have been on target. So their entire payroll for the entire team is under $400 million, and the taxes would have been over 500. I know the taxes would have been over 500. I forget what the total payroll would have been. Just egregious. So basically, it sets up that you can pay your high value guys, and so these guys are making 40%. One guy can make 40% of your limit if you're a supermax player, and you got 2 of them with the Celtics too. They got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They're each making, so the 2 of them are making like 80% of the max. You got nothing left. You got to have 15 players. What are you going to pay the rest of your 13 guys? So what it means is if you get superstars and you give them supermax contracts, which these superstars expect that, and then the taxes will accrue. And so basically, so you got about 2 years, and then you got to blow it all up. Now, OKC just won, and they just offered their big 3 supermax contracts, signed them. So their window is like 2 years, and they're going to have to blow it up. So what it does is it creates such severe financial penalties that the teams, and that's good for the game because it makes it more competitive. Versus they say they don't have those kind of rules in baseball. And the Dodgers, the owner of the Dodgers has just bought the Lakers, has been spending like crazy, and that's why the Lakers have been winning a lot recently. Didn't they just win the World Series? They won the last World Series. The Dodgers are spending a lot of money on their talent, and they're like the new Yankees. They are just dominating baseball. I hardly follow baseball, but that control is not in place. Penalties. You can still do it. I mean, they're not saying you can't, but your penalties are more than what your payroll is. Maybe
so not
2x.
A lot of money left for the rest of the Celtic players.
Yeah.
You got good news and I got bad news. You're on the team. Bad news is we're going to pay you in high fives and that boys.
So the Celtics won it. This is 25. So they won it in 24. And then we brought back everybody and paid them what they were deserving. And we got supermax contracts that started this past year for the 2 J's, Jaylen and Jason. And then Jason tears his Achilles tendon, and he was out. We got beat by the Knicks, and he tore it in that game. And some were saying, I mean, I don't know if we would have won that game with Jason or not. We were not. We were just, everybody was tired. Everybody was banged up, and the Knicks beat us. And then the Knicks got beat by the Pacers. And so what are you going to do? Tatum is out for most of the year, maybe the entire year. He might come back toward the end of next season, but he, by all accounts, although the Celtics really aren't a major competitor for a chip next year, although I'm always optimistic. And we had Drew Holiday and we had Porzingis that were making a lot of money, and we traded them away. They were on our team when we won the championship. Fan favorites. Everybody loves Porzingis. He's from Slovenia, which is no, sorry, not Slovenia. That is Luka Doncic. So he's from one of the Baltic countries. Is it Lithuania or Estonia? He's from Estonia, I think. He's smiling all the time, just loving the game. And then you could compare with Jokic, who's from that part of the world, Eastern Europe, who never smiles. And the only time he smiles is when he's back in Serbia, watching his horses race.
Are you curious to see anybody that got drafted play?
Well, there's a lot of headlines because the summer league's going on now. And a lot of guys just playing great. But the one thing I've learned being an NBA fan for a while, summer league results don't mean diddly squat. Players do great in summer league, and then nothing else happens when they're playing against regular full. I mean, right. the level of competition is a lot higher. So there's a lot of news about Bronny tearing it up, LeBron's son, and other stuff. Okay, good for him. And maybe he has taken some steps. He does have, one of the world's greatest ever players as his dad coaching him. So if anybody has a shot at being great, he's got the genes, he's got the coaching, he should be great. But tearing it up in the summer league doesn't always translate, usually doesn't. So anyway, so the Celtics had to back to Al Horford, 42, beloved guy. He's from the Dominican Republic. They talk about his eyes. He's got like model eyes. He's got whatever, his brown eyes makes him women swoon over him. He's a married man. He's a good family man, but he's got like model looks, and he's 39. Anyway, he helped us win the chip. And, so we traded Porzingis and we traded Drew Holiday, and we're still above the second apron by $300,000. And he can get a payday. He's either going to retire or he's going to probably sign somewhere else. And the two top places he's probably going to sign are either the Warriors or the Lakers.
Tim's favorite second team.
If you're a Celtics fan, you have to greatly dislike the Lakers. I did not use the H word, but you greatly dislike them if you're a Celtics fan.
Yeah, I get in trouble when I have the Lakers. He's just,
you are a Lakers fan.
Joking. You leave me alone. I am not a Lakers fan. I am Warriors fan. I forgot it for a second there. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge, gigantic fan. I can name everybody on the roster.
L is 29. I mean, he can get paid even at his age. He produces so well for being 30. Did I say 29? 39. He's 39. He could retire. I mean, he's making, $20 million is what he would make if he came back. 18 or $20 million. That's a lot of money. And he's worth it because he can hit the threes. He can still produce. I mean, he can't play a full game, but he can come off the bench and really serve it up for you, and he's worth the money. So the Celtics can't afford. We're already over the second apron right now, 300,000 over, which we'll probably cut and get under the second apron, which is really important to get under that so we don't get the repeater tax.
When's the season start?
Season will start probably, I believe it starts in October, November. I don't know the start date. November. And I think you have until the trade deadline to adjust your roster. It doesn't get set in stone until the trade deadline, which is somewhere in March, I think. So I'm really, as a businessman, I spent all my life in business as well as playing music. I'm really interested in the business side of NBA basketball and how you manage that and how you draft. All those things are so important for creating a team. And I think more so than probably any other sport. I mean, you only have 5 people on playing at a time, whereas let's say NFL, you got 11 per side. And there's so many specialists doing so many different things. Drafting is not nearly as important. You get a number 1 draft pick that'll change the world for you. I don't think, the quarterback obviously is the most important in the NFL. But you still got to have a line to protect him. You still got to have somebody to catch those balls. It's not a one-man thing. Whereas in basketball, and you need a supporting cast in basketball, but it's not as important as it is in the NBA, in my opinion. And baseball, well, you got 9 per side playing. And everybody has a different part. You got to have hitting, you got to have pitching, you got to have, fielding. Do they even have baseball drafts? I don't even know if they draft the baseball. I think they do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm thinking, there's a draft, but I don't follow it.
But the draft in the NBA is really important, because you get a player that can change your. And there's a guy in Cooper this year was considered NBA level, or sorry, LeBron level type of player. Cooper Flagg, he was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks, and
because they ended up getting the #1 pick somehow.
That was bizarre.
They
traded Luka Doncic and got nothing in return, no picks. And everybody thought it was a fix. And there's still you can't deny that there's a possibility it was a fix, because they traded Luka Doncic, send him to the Lakers. So the Lakers, or the NBA, has been having reduced ratings. People are not watching the games like they used to. So if this is a big conspiracy, and you say, what's the best thing? And we want international audiences. What's the best thing we can do? Let's send the best international player. Sorry, Denver fans. Jokic might be better than Doncic, but he's a little older. Doncic is only 25. Luka Doncic, 25, 26. And he's up there. He's like in the top 5 for sure. And he's from Slovenia. Same place that Mrs. Trump is from, First Lady. What's her first name? I forgot her name. Donald Trump's wife, the First Lady.
I just had it in my.
Forgot her. It starts with an M.
First Lady.
She's from Slovenia also. Anyway,
Ivanka.
No. That was one of his earlier wives. No, it starts with an M. I can't remember her name.
That's not. Oh no,
that or his daughter. That's his daughter.
Ivanka's his daughter. Oh.
Ivana was his wife, I think. The mother of Ivanka, I think. Melanie. Starts with M-E something. Anyway, how do we get off on that? So there is a conspiracy that could have some
Melania. Yeah.
That could have some truth. So you're going to try to rejuvenate the NBA. What's the best thing you could do? Send the best international player, arguably. Jokic could be, but he's not telegenic because he never smiles. Luka plays with a smile on his face all the time. Send him to entertainment center of the country, which is Los Angeles. And in return, we'll promise you, if this is underhanded dealing, we'll promise you the first round draft pick for probably a franchise-changing person, Cooper Flagg, who was from Duke. And when they made the trade, it all looked like that was ridiculous. But they had the least probability. There's 14 teams in the lottery, and they had the lowest. And so your worst record has the highest probability. The top 3 have 25% probability. And they were the 14th team. Their probability of getting that was like 1%. And they got the first round pick. And they did draft Cooper Flagg. So they gave up Luka Doncic. So this conspiracy would go. They traded Luka Doncic to LA so the Lakers could have him as a franchise player. And instead, in return, they got the first round draft pick so they could get Cooper Flagg. I hope that is not what happened. I really do. Because if that is the case, then you got to look further. How deep does the rabbit hole go? Because they seem to referee games differently. And for example, Oklahoma City won this year. And you could hardly breathe on them when my buddy is from Indiana. And it was so hard for me because SGA is constantly getting foul calls. You just don't even look at him and you get called on a foul. And meanwhile, they're beating up the Pacers players. I mean, you can't deny it. It did appear that way. And so did they say, okay, we're going to let OKC win. We're going to officiate it that way. If that is true, and they worked out this deal for Luka and let them get Cooper Flagg, I hope that isn't true, because then the game is not real. I hope that's not the case.
So we will not be watching the NBA this next year?
No, I'm not saying that. I love the game too much. But I mean, these are concerns that need to be addressed. They need to make sure that they are officiating the same. And I see it in the NFL. Jimmy talks about when Peyton Manning, or is it Painting Manning, was playing for the Pacers, not the Pacers, the Colts. Because he's an Indiana boy and he likes all the Indiana teams. And he said they'd have a lot more championships if it wasn't for Tom Brady. And there was one game where they were playing Tom Brady, not the Super Bowl, because to get to the Super Bowl, and they were up, and there was like 5 seconds left in the game, and Tom Brady. Let's see if I can remember this. Tom Brady was trying to pass, and they were tackling him, and they said he had forward motion, and I mean, Jimmy said it was obvious he didn't have forward motion because he had his hand. His hand was not going forward. So if it's not forward motion, if you know the NFL rules, that's not an incomplete pass. That's a fumble. And it was ruled an incomplete pass. And apparently, you could probably find it. It was a very controversial call. And so they got the ball back. New England got the ball back. And guess what? Tom Brady, being Tom Brady, threw a miraculous pass, and they beat the Colts. But he says that call was in favor of Tom Brady. I don't know. I wasn't a fan. I don't even know if I probably didn't even watch it. You probably don't remember it either. But if you're a Colts fan, you probably remember it. So, fans of their teams are always going to say that the referee screwed them. But my buddy Jimmy is a very objective person, and he wouldn't say that if it wasn't objectively pretty obvious that the call went against them. So there's controversies in every sport. What are you going to do? We still love sports, though.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I'm done.
Okay, let's get something light.
We
like to go to a light ending here.
Podcast for today, guys.
Come on.
Appreciate you watching.
You can be more positive. Where's Walter Wimble or Felix George? Bring me Felix George, or even Debby. Bring me something.
Don't you got my cigarettes? Hand me my cigarettes. If you're gonna talk about me, you better have my cigarettes. Titus, speaking of conspiracies, have I told you about the conspiracy this man believes? That cigarettes are bad for you? Snarky. Conspiracies. This is Mr. Conspiracy over here. Just give me my cigarettes.
Are cigarettes good for you, Debby? They make you healthier?
Or you mean Debra?
Debra, my bad. Debra.
Debby, you threw me off because you said that. I was like, I got to come up with a new character. Debby, I'm Debby.
Well, okay, Debby. Let's go with Debby. Does Debby smoke?
Debby does not smoke. Debby always brings you cookies when you move into our neighborhood. What is up with me and these female characters? I need to get me a wig so I can just go.
Yes.
Debby, Tim, thanks for it's really. I just live up the street. Me and my husband and our three boys, Jimmy, James. We're just so happy to have you as a neighborhood. You just moved in, right?
7 years ago, Debby.
Oh, wait. This isn't Fred Newsom? That's a made-up name, right? Isn't that a politician? Fred Newsom. Great. What I would love to end on some politics. On that note, aren't we so thankful that the Jeffrey Epstein list does not exist? Thank you, Lord, for making it disappear. There's no bad people in this world. We'll all rest easy.
We don't get we try to stay away from politics on this podcast.
No, that was just going to be a joke.
Okay.
That was going to be the whole thing.
Okay.
No, we're thankful. We're thankful. The end.
Okay.
Guys, thanks for watching. And Debby says, eat your cookies. They're made with love. I think Debbie's voice just changed. Yes. Debbie's here. Maybe that's, I gotta remember it's high up. Debbie loves you.
All right.
I'm so sorry I didn't.
Goodbye, Debby.
Bye, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe.